We're talking about the yellow wallpaper, guys. Isn't my shirt cute? No, I don't care about basketball. It's just cute. There will be spoilers in this. This very, very teeny tiny book that more or less is almost like, I don't mean to disrespect it and refer to it as like a pamphlet, but it is very short. It is a whopping 21 pages. I read this short little burst of manic energy after I finished The Song of Achilles because I needed something short and digestible, and then only one book came to mind. Overall, I think this book was very good and very successful. I think part of the reason it was so good and successful is because it's very short. It is a first-person POV about a woman that is going through postpartum depression. She just had a baby, her husband is a doctor, which is an interesting layer of the story, which is relevant later on. But you're kind of just a Disney movie, I think it's called Inside Out, where there's little people in like your brain that control all your feelings. Like if you could just like live inside the main headquarters of her brain, which I imagine is like right here because that's where your eyes are, like if you could just like sit there and walk through her life as her side by side, kind of in the passenger seat. So basically our main character here, she just had a baby. She's talking about her husband, John. She says John is a physician, and perhaps, I would not say it to a living soul of course, but this is dead paper and a great relief to my mind. Perhaps that is one reason I do not get well faster. You see, he does not believe I am sick. Sound familiar? It says, if a physician of high standing and one's own husband assures friends and relatives that there is really nothing the matter with one but temporary nervous depression, a slight hysterical tendency, what is one to do? So she's a woman going through postpartum depression, and her own husband, who is a medical doctor, doesn't believe her. And overall, when I was reading this book, I just kind of kept thinking about, I mean, particularly as a woman of color, like we have such an issue with being believed in the medical industry. It is historically proven that Black bodies were tested on in the medical field and treated like lab rats. And so our pain to some healthcare professionals is just like genuinely not taken seriously. This person, I do like, she's not a person of color. I actually saw in the comments on another video that this author, don't quote me on this, I do not know, but I saw in another comment on a video I made where I mentioned this book that this author was like racist. I do not know. All I know is that we're talking about this woman in her postpartum depression, and her own husband, who is a doctor, doesn't believe her. For real, just her thoughts. Like when I say, it's a good thing that this book is short. Like when I say that like not a single word is wasted, she's talking about pretty much being in this room with, you guessed it, yellow wallpaper, and how she becomes obsessed with staring not just at this wallpaper but like into this wallpaper and through the wallpaper. And because of her mental health issues that she's experiencing, the wallpaper kind of takes on a life of its own.